Layah Heilpern, thank you for joining me on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. You killed my name. You did it. Perfect.
I did it. Earlier, I wasn't doing it good, so I got it right. And actually, you're the first person I reach out to for this podcast, and still the only person, so I appreciate you coming in.
Oh, thanks for having me. No, it's great. Never been to Tampa before. So yeah, really happy to be here. I was going to say I'm a Miami girl, but that has bad connotations. But I love Miami. So it's interesting to try something different.
And why do you think, because I have that opinion about Miami. Like I told you, we talked last night on the phone. I was like, yeah, I can't go to Miami because there's too much temptation. You're like, not really, not for me. So tell me, like you've lived in Miami for a couple of years. What's it been like living there? Do you stay away from the clubs? Do you stay away from the parties?
Yeah, Miami has such a negative connotations around it. People think, if you go to Miami, you're in the clubs, you're doing a lot of degeneracy and all that stuff. But I don't get involved in any of that stuff. To me, I just really like the palm trees. I like the food. It's really good coffee. And that's it, just walking around, enjoying the palm trees. And actually, I say when you go to Miami, you do one of two things. Either you get involved in the degeneracy and you start with the clubs, the partying and the drugs, or you say no, like myself, and then you choose to level up instead and you just throw yourself into the entrepreneurial world. There's a lot going on with crypto. There's a lot going on with tech. You level up financially, physically. Everybody's getting fit and going to the gym. So Miami is like so fast paced, but in a really good way. There's so much pressure to just level up and do better in all areas of your life. So yeah, I'm a Miami girl for that reason. I love the energy. And we were talking before, I don't really like to do much. Like I really do nothing. I wake up at 6, go to the gym, eat, work, that's it, right? Drink coffee, that's it. So I'm kind of boring, but because Miami is so alive, like the energy, it really balances me out. It doesn't make me feel so guilty for doing nothing 99% of the time.
I like that. When I lived in San Francisco, it was the same way. Everybody's working. So like I actually felt like motivated to work more. But Miami, yeah, I think I have that because I've went there for 2 weekends with friends, big parties. So like you go have dinner, you go out to the club. Somehow you end up at club space at 8 a.m. I'm like, I don't even party. How am I here? So I had that like thought on Miami, but I have a lot of friends that live there, entrepreneurs that live there. Obviously, crypto is pretty big there. I know that the mayor, he took a lot of his salary, if not all of his salary in Bitcoin back in 2022 during the bear market. What's your take so far? Do you think that Miami could potentially be a crypto hub in America?
Well, I think it is the crypto hub. First, it's a Republican state, so the laws are way more pro-crypto. Like New York, for example, they had this ban on Bitcoin mining. Eric Adams is obviously extremely anti-crypto, despite getting in as mayor on the pro-crypto,
wild.
Crazy. It's definitely becoming a massive, not just a crypto hub, but more of like a tech hub. Obviously, we don't have state income tax, so people prefer that a lot. And what I've heard in general about people moving their businesses to Florida is that, to Miami, is that the mayor makes it very easy for you. I quote, he rolls out the red carpet for your business. I don't know specifically in what detail or what way, taxes, I don't know. But I know in terms of like regulations and setting things up, it becomes a lot easier for you because that's what Miami wants to be. And actually, one funny thing what I realized about Miami when I first got there is it has like this I love it, but it has like an eerie sense of like this dystopian future just because it feels so futuristic.
Yeah.
Like you have these big screens everywhere with like ads, and like ads in the sky, ads on the water. It has this weird kind of like futuristic dystopian technology feel to it. In a way that I haven't actually experienced in any other city, certainly not here in Tampa. So, but no, I'm pro Miami. I think it's going to be a massive crypto hub. Again, not just a crypto hub, but a tech hub. I mean, everyone was in SF, right? And now they're slowly moving to Texas. Yep. Elon Musk moved Twitter to Texas. I think more people are moving. So yeah, it's definitely pro tech.
I think more people are getting out of California. I just did that a month ago. We're here in Tampa at my house filming this. And yeah, I mean, I left California just because of during COVID, I lived in San Francisco. So I got to see firsthand how bad it was, right? First place to lock down, mandatory vaccines, so much fear. The woke mind virus is a real thing in California. Yeah. So I left. That was part of the reason. And I was in Orange County, which is a beautiful, beautiful area. But part of the reason I left is because the business, right? You pay whatever the federal income tax is, plus an extra 13% in California.
That's crazy.
And when you're making money, it's like, that's a large amount. So if it was a perfect place to live, like, which it's beautiful there, the hills, the ocean, the vibes are great. But in terms of homelessness and crime, I couldn't justify paying an extra 13%, especially because I travel and like we can take this anywhere. You and I both have the same profession. We can work from anywhere. So I made the decision to move back home a month ago, and you're kind of changing my mind on Miami. It sounds like I can still like live a healthy lifestyle there and meet entrepreneurs and, you know, still do what I like to do and stay away from the bullshit.
Well, I asked you earlier about your building, what kind of people that it attracts, because I was just curious, because I think, you know, your environment really dictates or influence how you are and what you're interested in and how you work. I guess like in Miami, in these like high-rise buildings, you have a lot of young entrepreneurs. So it can get quite competitive in a healthy way. So it is nice actually being surrounded by a lot of people who are all entrepreneurs, who are young, who are all pushing and motivated. You know, everyone's trying to make as much money as possible. Everyone's trying to get as fit as possible. Everyone's just trying to level up. And yeah, I like it. I think that long term, it's probably not healthy. It can get like really stressful. You're always like trying to be on top of your game, which is just like not practical long term. It's good to just like decompress and be happy with where you're at. But Miami definitely pushes you to be the best version of yourself possible. So yeah, pro Miami.
I think there's like pros and cons of that. Like competition's good, right? You want to like have that competitive nature, but I think one thing you'll see is that someone's always going to be doing better than you. So it's like, you know, let's say you have 1 million subscribers, someone's got 10, and it's like you have to kind of disassociate from that and like understand, even you right now, like with your current content, you're doing great, better than 99.9% of people. But if you have that 0.01% around you, you know, you might not feel fulfilled about that. So there's like a fine line there, you know.
That's why you can't stay in Miami too long.
Exactly.
You got to do what you got to do and then get out. But as like I said, as someone who just does nothing, it's really nice to have so much vibrancy and energy around you. It helps balance me out.
I can't believe you do nothing. Like what? Describe nothing. What does nothing mean?
I wake up at 6, I eat, I go to the gym, I then get a coffee, I work. Gagain and I will argue about something, he'll stress me out, and then I call my mum, and then I work, and then I go on a walk. Maybe I'll go back to the gym, and then I eat more, and then I come do podcasts like that. Like I do nothing, but I like it. Argue with Gagain again, you know, like several times a day. You know, he'll tell me I'm doing this wrong and you're doing that wrong. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing that wrong. You know, so it's just like, yeah, but I don't do much. I mean, I don't want to do much.
Yeah.
Like really, I think you get to a point where, you know, routine, there's something so beautiful about routine. You know, and like in my early 20s, I was traveling a lot. I've lived in a lot of different countries. And I don't like that digital nomad life. I just don't think it's fulfilling. I don't think it's worth it. You know, I want to build long-lasting relationships. I want to put my roots down somewhere. And yeah, picking one place to do that is so healthy. And it allows you to focus more on the things that matter, right? Like making money, building relationships, rather than just running around the world and trying to find your place.
Yeah, I agree. Routines are so important. I just was traveling this past year, and like the past couple of years, I was in Bali, I was in Israel, traveling around. I brought my camera gear to work with us. But when I was in Bali, you know, it's 12 hours difference from where we are here in the East Coast. And so in order to like produce videos and reach the American audience, which is a good audience, we would start working at like 8 p.m. at night till 2 a.m.
That's not worth it.
I mean, that's not long term, right? And then honestly, I just wanted to come back because America's the best. You know, it's like I missed same day delivery on Amazon. I missed
It's
DoorDash.
not same day. No, I disagree.
It's same day.
You don't have same day delivery in America.
We do on Amazon.
Amazon Prime in the UK is same day delivery. Amazon Prime in America is 2 days.
So it depends where you are. If you live in Orange County, California, where there's a hub right there, there's a hub in Newport. So if I wake up at or if I order something at 11, it's there by 2 p.m.
Fair enough.
So I think it just depends on where you are. But let's transition into crypto. So I'm actually curious. I don't even know your full crypto story.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about when you got into crypto. And I mean, everyone has an interesting crypto story, right? When did you first hear about crypto? And then when did you also start creating content about crypto?
Okay, so I first heard about crypto in 2013 or 2014.
Wow, early.
Yeah, well, I had a boyfriend at the time. And I always don't know if I should tell this story, but whatever, I don't really care. So I had a boyfriend at the time, and he was buying drugs online. We were like 17. He was, I don't know what, he was buying weed online or something with Bitcoin.
On Silk Road?
Yeah, I think it was Silk Road, yeah. Yeah, it was
Free Ross.
Right, but I didn't know at the time. He's just like, oh yeah, like I'm buying weed online with Bitcoin, this thing called Bitcoin. I was just like, you're disgusting. We need to break up. But yeah, and he was using Bitcoin to buy weed, and I never bought. I thought he was gross, and so was what he was doing. So like, you know, when you hear something from a source that you don't trust, you're not really going to take it seriously. So I didn't take it seriously at all until obviously 2017. We had that amazing bull run. It was all over the news, and then everyone was calling it a bubble and it popped. And so again, I wasn't really involved, so I didn't really think much of it until I moved to Malta in like 2018, as soon as the market crashed. And I was hired as a journalist to cover crypto and blockchain. So in 2018, I got in when Bitcoin was around $3,000. And I basically was just interviewing experts. Like, I knew nothing about crypto. And I learned because I just listened and I asked questions. And it was funny because I would introduce people on the show and be like, this is this person. He is a crypto and blockchain expert. And even the expert himself would be like, Layah, please don't call me that, because like the technology is so new. None of us are experts. We're all still learning. Yeah. And I'm like, you're an expert to me, you know? So I was constantly learning and asking questions. And that's kind of where it went from there. And then during COVID, I decided to go back to the UK, and my mind was just so open to crypto and the way of life, because obviously in Malta, they were trying to become the blockchain island. So I met a lot of people who were involved in crypto. I met a lot of people who lived a crypto lifestyle, which was a little more different and edgy and interesting. And I just fell in love with that. And so when I went back to the UK, I just started creating content about crypto. Yeah. And
ever since then, I mean, you've taken off. I started seeing like during the bear market, you were on like CNBC.
Yeah.
Who were you interviewing on that?
I was on Fox like every week. I was on ABC. Funny story. I did ABC and they asked me like a really woke question, which I just brushed off and pushed back on them. And ever since, they never asked me back on, because I didn't rise to their question. They basically asked me whether like Bitcoin was racist. Right, that was my reaction.
That would be mine too.
Right,
it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. So I kind of pushed that off, and they never asked me back. But yeah, I did a lot of BBC, Fox, and yeah, it was great. Yeah, I
would not see like that's why I'm glad I asked this question, because I would not have guessed 2013. You know, your ex-boyfriend at the time buying drugs, but actually that's the same for me. Yeah. Like back in high school, I had a kid. He was buying like LSD online, and he said something about purchasing with Bitcoin. And I didn't really dive into it until about 2016. I was about to graduate college, and I was like, I didn't have any money. I was in college, but I was like, I want to find a way to make a little bit of money into a lot of bit of money. Google all these different stocks, found Bitcoin. All I saw online was that it's for drug dealers, it's for bad people. And I was like, oh, maybe not. So I was brainwashed. And it wasn't until 2017, 2018 that I started investing. I invested like around the same time. ETH was like $300. Yeah. Bitcoin was 3,000. This was back when Coinbase only had 3 tokens on it. It had Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin.
We have the same story.
Same story. Yeah. And after that, I was just graduated. I was working at an athletic club, like a gym in Long Beach. I was making like $10 an hour. So every paycheck I would put money in. I used to call my mom and I'd be like, hey mom, I need some more money for rent. Can you send me some money? She sent me like $500 to $1,000 straight into Bitcoin, straight into ETH. Ended up getting wrecked back in 2018 when the markets crashed. Didn't sell anything, but learned a lot, right? And then obviously stayed in tune with it, you know, and started creating content pretty much the same time, 2020. Yeah. And we've been doing it ever since.
Yeah.
So when it comes to crypto, what's your investing strategy? Are you mostly like Bitcoin, altcoins? Do you dabble into meme coins at all?
So I think that eventually all cryptos are going to zero. Except for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and potentially Solana, although Solana could also go to zero. I think long term, I am a Bitcoin holder. Like, I think Bitcoin is digital gold. I don't think it's going anywhere. Yeah. You know, digital property, I think it's the best hedge against inflation. And that is where I'm constantly DCAing and putting basically my entire life savings into. Ethereum, I always say that the entire internet is being built on Ethereum. Same with Solana, it's kind of just like that ETH competitor, which is also why I'm really heavy on ETH and Sol. But everything else eventually will go to zero. It's like a lot of like in the .com boom or like a lot of like early tech stocks, like a lot of them just don't exist anymore. Now we just have this like monopoly, right, of like these major companies. And I think the same is going to be true for crypto. There's just new projects being launched every day. And number one, like we're not ready for it. The tech isn't good enough. When I say people aren't ready for it, like they don't understand how to use it. So for me, I think we're going to have a monopoly on crypto, which will be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and potentially Solana or some kind of other competitor. And then I think we're going to have some kind of government cryptocurrency, and that will run parallel. And they'll try very hard to make on and off ramps from Bitcoin to fiat very difficult. And they'll make it much easier, much smoother, maybe some like tax incentives if you hold the government's coin. So there's going to be some kind of friction between a government coin and like the people's coin, Bitcoin.
Yeah, that kind of scares me because like we see it happening in China. I'm guessing you're talking about like CBDCs, right?
CBDC.
Central bank digital currencies. That kind of scares me because we've seen the government. I mean, you've lived all over, but here in America, it's like, we saw it happen with COVID. It's like once they take a little bit, they try to get a little bit more, and soon you have to wear a mask and get vaccinated to get a coffee, right? So it kind of does scare me when it comes to cryptocurrency. I'm not a fan. We see it happening in China right now. When they have CBDCs, when you run a red light or you do something wrong or you speak out against the government, like they can fine your money, which I think that there needs to be a separation between finance and government because I mean, governments already control so much of what we do. So I'm personally not in favor of CBDCs, but what about you?
Oh, I'm completely against central bank digital currencies. I've been banging on about them for a long time. I used to speak a lot on Dan Bongino's Fox News show about it a lot because I think when you control the money, you control everything. Like I always say that money is the energy which fuels your life, whatever you do. Like how did we get here today? Well, we paid money for a plane ticket to get here, right? If for whatever reason, I said the wrong thing on the internet, or I bought too much meat because meat is apparently like racist and bad for the environment.
In America,
right?
yeah. California.
Then they could either lower my credit score or they could add some kind of like red points, I don't know, to my money. And so my money now doesn't work when I want to go do something. If I'm not vaccinated, then I could be, a threat to national security. So they could then make my money only work in certain places because ultimately the money becomes programmable, like a voucher. It's just a digital token. So I think it's terrifying. And if you don't think it's terrifying, then I just think you're stupid. Because if you just saw what happened over the last few years with COVID, exactly like you said, like they stopped you from going in certain restaurants. They only let you go out if you needed to buy essential items. But how do you police that? The only way to police that and actually put that into effect is to program the money. So I don't think it's a matter of like, will they or won't they? I think it's a matter of when will they do it.
Yeah, so that's the extreme, right? CBDCs, governments having control of your money. And then there's some sort of regulation, which I think I'm in favor of regulation a little bit. I mean, look what's happening in the crypto space. Like you said, there's thousands of tokens being launched on a daily basis by some kid in his grandmother's basement.
Right.
They get a celebrity to tweet about it and then they rug pull it, right? Like innocent investors are losing money left and right in here. So you're against CBDCs. You think it's terrible. That is the extreme, right? But are you in favor of some sort of regulation in the crypto space?
No, I'm not in favor of any regulation in the crypto space. I constantly talk about the issues in crypto. You asked me, what's my thesis on crypto? I said they're all going to zero. I said, buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, but the rest is a huge risk. I constantly talk about how meme coins are what they say they are on the tin. It's a joke. So I'm out here educating you. I don't think a regulator's role is to regulate and enforce. I think a regulator's role is to educate. And that's what I do with my platform. I educate. So I think people should take personal responsibility, open their minds, open their ears, and see, okay, well, this person is saying it's a risk. The news says it's a risk. The SEC says it's a risk. Maybe I won't put all my life savings into a dog coin, And I think if you do put all your life savings into a dog coin and you lose it all, then like you probably deserved to lose it all. I just think that's the harsh reality of the way the world works. I think money always flows to it moves into the smartest hands, essentially. So if you're putting all your money into a dog coin, you're clearly not smart enough to even deserve all that money.
Exactly. You got to invest that's what I do when I gamble on meme coins. Like I invest and I consider it gone,
Right.
And 90% of the time it is gone. And then 10% of the time, you might hit something big. But you mentioned your content. I actually joined your guys' Telegram group.
Oh, nice.
It's a great group. There's a lot of people that are going to be watching this. Tell them how they can connect and what you're doing in your Telegram group.
Yeah, so we have 2 Telegram groups. We have one main free broadcast Telegram group where we give a lot of value. We talk a lot about the behind the scenes stuff going on. So for example, how I, as a British person, was able to move to the States, the type of visa that I have. I have multiple passports. So we give a lot of information about how I was able to obtain that. I have a company and I make money online. So I talk about the different ways that I make money online and I teach people how to do the same thing. So it's really just, we provide a lot of value and we talk about things that I don't really necessarily want to publicly talk about. And then we also have a trading group because everybody loves meme coins. Everybody wants to know how to make money quick. So I talk about the coins that I'm personally investing in. I talk about the coins that I'm trading. Because we are so plugged into the space, we have access to a lot of information, a lot of alpha. So, if I know that something's going to be listed, or if I know, if I'm working with a project and they give me some good information, then I'll let my Telegram community know. So everybody has the opportunity to get in and make money. We have pre-sales. I have one woman who I was coaching her one-on-one about crypto. I helped onboard her and we got her in on a pre-sale and she made like 2-3K just by pressing a few buttons. Yeah. So, it's funny because a lot of people talk about how like, oh my God, these groups are like scammy. It's like, they're just not. Like we're providing a lot of value and people are making a lot of money. And if for whatever reason someone doesn't like the group, they can leave. Like it's
free.
Not a problem.
Free to leave.
Right. Exactly. You're free to leave. So yeah, and I think like, content, you have to be careful with content because some platforms prefer different types of content. You can't post the same thing on every single platform. Some platforms will not like certain types of content. So certain content about crypto, Twitter, X doesn't really like it. It can backfire really badly. So I prefer to put certain content, that type of content in a Telegram channel, and people really appreciate it so much more. We put out a trade and our trader has like an amazing win rate. It's like over 90%.
90?
Yeah, I swear.
Wow.
He kills it.
He doesn't lose.
Like 10%.
That's not 10%.
10% of the time.
A lot of people I know, their win rate's 10%. And their lose rate's 90%.
No, he kills it. He's like a crazy nerd and super successful.
Is it Warren
and
Buffett?
Intelligent.
Who is it?
Nah, as if. Nah, he's a young kid. Like he just kills it.
He's just smart, yeah.
He's just so tapped in, he knows how to trade the meme coins. He's very, very connected. So he knows what's launching when. So people are making really good money and you can't talk about certain things on Twitter, but we can put it in the Telegram group and people love it. So yeah, we want to help people make money, Yeah.
And like I said, I follow your calls. Even so, remember about 2 weeks ago, about a week after Trump went to the Bitcoin conference, crypto went from 70K down below 50K. Right. And you were posting about buying Ethereum, like dollar cost averaging. You're like, I might go broke, but I'm putting more money in. And since then, it's went from, it was around like 1,900 ETH, or around 2,000 ETH, back up to 2,600. So you do have good calls. It's not just about meme coins.
But we have amazing calls. We were trading all the Trump coins. And it pumped hard and people made a lot of money on all the Trump meme coins. Yeah. And what people don't realize is again, these coins aren't here to stay. They are really supposed to pump and dump, but you have to know what's going on politically. You need to understand macroeconomics. You have to understand all of it because those are the things which are going to drive the market and create hype. So yeah, we knew Trump was going to be speaking at the conference. Mm-hmm. So we were like, buy this coin. What did it do? It pumped. And then everyone made money. And then obviously it's going to dump later, but they are meme coins. And there is that warning, A meme is what it says it is on the tin. Like it's a joke. So get in, get out, make money.
Yeah. Some meme coins are here for a year plus, right? Like look at Pepe, Shiba Inu, Dogecoin. They're here for 4 or 5 years, maybe here for a long time. Other ones are here for a couple weeks. Yeah. Other ones are here for a day, literally like a day. So it's very difficult to invest. You just have to know when to get in and when to get out. But when your chart's going up, people think, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire. This is the one. And then just as quickly as it goes up, it goes back down. But you mentioned Trump. Here in America in November, we have a big election, right? I think it's a make or break election for America. Donald Trump, who is, in my opinion, more pro-crypto. He's speaking at the Bitcoin conference, the first president ever to speak at the Bitcoin conference. On the other side, Kamala is now running, right? Joe Biden has stepped down. She's running. And in my opinion, the Democrats have showed us the past 4 years that they're doing everything that they can to kill crypto and stifle cryptocurrency adoption here in America. The SEC has went after everyone. They went after Binance. They went after Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, Richard Hart. The list goes on, right? And a lot of my friends, Richard Hart, we got to throw him in there. A lot of my friends have left America to go to Dubai because they're like, we don't even know what's going on. There's no clarity on what's going on there. When it comes to the election, what are your takes? Do you think that Donald Trump, if he wins, that crypto is going to skyrocket? If Kamala wins, it's going to go down? Like, what's your take on the current election?
I think short term, if Donald Trump wins, the crypto market will pump just because he is so pro crypto, and I think he's talking about potentially giving RFK Jr. a role as some kind of like crypto advisor in the cabinet. So he is so pro crypto. I think it will pump. However, I think long term, it doesn't really matter who the president is. I think that crypto long term is uncorrelated. I genuinely believe that. Short term, it's correlated, right? We see how when wars break out, we see how the news affects the market, but it's always in the short term. Crypto always tends to recover. And I also think that, yes, Kamala and the whole Biden administration has been extremely anti-crypto over the last 4 years. You know, Elizabeth Warren, Gary Gensler, you know, they've all been extremely pro-crypto, trying to crush it completely, pushing innovation abroad, which is obviously not good. But what they're also realizing is that's not the smart decision. Yeah. Even Kamala is trying to reset relations with the crypto community, whatever reset means, you know, they are trying to do something, because I think that the entire world is becoming more pro-crypto. So even Russia, for example, agreed the other day to start trading internationally in crypto. So that is going to put America behind. Does America want to be behind? No. There's always this constant, like, was it like, I don't want to call it an arms race, but there's this constant, like, they
say America first, like they want to be top in everything.
There's this constant race between Russia, America. China. America always wants to lead. Yeah. So America would be extremely stupid to to ban crypto or make crypto difficult. What I do think could happen is, because I don't want people to think that, I don't want people to be fooled by someone like Donald Trump or even Kamala saying how pro-crypto she is. What I do think would happen is they create this illusion that America is so pro-crypto. We now have the spot ETF, BlackRock is in, all the major institutions are in, you know, we're all so pro-crypto. But I definitely think we could get to a point where it's like you're only allowed to hold crypto through a government regulated service. You know, that is a concern for me, because Elizabeth Warren, for example, is trying to make it illegal to have non-KYC wallets. So that basically means taking self-custody becomes illegal. The only way that you're allowed to hold crypto is through a government regulated exchange where you have to give social security and everything. So it really defeats the purpose of crypto in the first place when it becomes regulated and traceable. So that's just something to be concerned about, because they create an illusion that America is so pro-crypto, but slowly as time goes by, you know, they could just be chipping away at the freedom and the liberty that crypto enables, while kind of promoting it on the other hand. So you have to just watch what they're doing, not like what they say.
You mean politicians lying to us?
Yeah, well,
never. But that's why I think, like, you know, like you said, and this is going to come out, maybe even RFK by this time. He's supposed to make an announcement on Friday. He could potentially drop out and make an announcement that he's going to be joining Donald Trump and endorsing Donald Trump. But even at the Bitcoin conference, Donald Trump said he met with some of the pioneers in the crypto space. Yeah. He had the Winklevoss brothers back there. He had some CEOs of some top exchanges. So I think as long as you have, like, if Donald Trump, if he wins, or Kamala, whoever wins, as long as they have like an advisory board of crypto people that have been building and built it this so far, I think it will be good. One person I would love to see him add on the list is CZ Binance. So today the news came out that he was just released from prison, but not fully. He still has 38 days on his sentence. He's moving to a halfway house. What's your take on CZ? I love the guy. I think he's good personally. He built Binance, the largest exchange in the world. He did do some things wrong, which he admitted to. He had to pay a hefty fine, $4 billion. He spent 4 months in prison, I guess 3 now. And 3 months or 38 days in a halfway house, which I thought was for like rehab addicts. I don't know what's going on. I think it's just like a transition period. But what's your overall take on CZ and what he's accomplished?
So I love CZ, Shengpeng Xiao, great guy. I've met up with him several times. Nice. I've interviewed him several times. I interviewed him at the Binance conference in Dubai when I was hosting that. I met up with him in London. We went for like a brunch.
Nice.
He's a really good guy. He's tried to help me as much as he can. You know, he's given me advice. He became quite like removed from the day-to-day operations of Binance, because, you know, he had other things to focus on, but he still tried to help like plug me in with different parts of Binance, introduce me to different people, always giving me ideas. You know, he bought my book, Undressing Bitcoin, and he posted it on Twitter a while back. So I think he's a really great guy. I've got his number on Signal. We chat here and there, obviously not while he's in jail. So I am pro CZ. Like, I don't think he did anything wrong. I just think the American government wants to take a piece of every single pie that they can. Binance grew differently to something like Crypto.com. So Crypto.com obviously got regulated first, and then they grew. Whereas Binance were like, nah, we're just going, and then we'll deal with like the fines and the regulation later. Is that morally incorrect? No, it's just a different way of doing things. I think what Binance and I think what CZ's done for the space is incredible, because ultimately, if Binance doesn't succeed, the entire space just like doesn't succeed, you know? The whole thing just crashes. I think the only thing that would last would be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe Solana. So like they've created this industry. And I think it's amazing. And people always say, you know, CZ, they say CZ ran so the rest of us could walk. And I really believe that, you know, what? Oh, like CZ walked so the rest of us could run. Yep. I don't know. He led the way essentially, and he took the hit for it. And I think he's like genuine. Having met with him many times, having spoken with him, interviewed him on my podcast, I genuinely think CZ is a good person and wants the best for crypto. So I'm happy that he's out. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do for the industry. I know whatever he does, he's gonna lead us forward in the right direction. He's very innovative. One thing I will say about CZ, which shocks a lot of people actually, is people think CZ and a character like Vitalik are really similar, right? Because you think like they're both like these nerds or whatever. No, they're completely different. Vitalik is like the nerd with like the bad social skills. CZ is the cool guy. Like I'm telling you, he's the cool guy with very good social skills, like extremely like outgoing, and that's also how Binance has been able to do so well, because he is a great face for it. He's a very good people's person, is what I'm saying. And people don't realize that because they think he's just like another crypto nerd when he's not. So, I loved him during the bear market, just the number 4 FUD, right? And he had a lot of shit thrown his way. So many people were attacking him. Every news article, the SEC suing him, right? He always posts 4. And then obviously he did end up going to prison, you know, in America, which was not good, but he's serving his time. I think when he gets out too, it's just going to be like that moral victory for the crypto space, you know, like our leader. He really is the leader of crypto. And he did play a big role in what happened with Sam Bankman-Fried. I mean, he really was the piece that, you know, that caused FTX to collapse. They had like that beef on Twitter, and he said, you know, we're pulling out our money or we'll sell it over the counter to you guys. Caroline Ellison was like, we'll buy it back for X amount. And that really uncovered. But I think he was trying to do good stuff. Sure, he might have got caught up with, I don't know exactly what happened, like the money laundering laws. He was having like VIP customers that were still using Binance. But I like that he owned up to it. He spent his time. I hope he's doing well in prison. I'm sure it's not great for him, you know, being a billionaire and going to prison. But he is officially out, which is good news. And he's 38 days away from officially being out, back on Twitter. And I think the bull run officially starts when CZ's back. Yeah, you know, it's a really good point, actually. I didn't think about that. Everyone, right now, we're in this weird phase in the crypto market because we are in a bull run. You would be naive to think that we aren't, right? Like, you just have to look at the price action and zoom out over the last year. But we have had this weird pullback and we are moving sideways, which, by the way, is very normal if you just look at previous cycles, what happens like a few months after the halving. But yeah, we are waiting for some kind of like event, something to just spark that bull run, you know, whether it's Trump getting in office. I think you're right. I think it's CZ getting back on Twitter is going to create so much hype, so much euphoria, so much bullishness that it could spark not just like a Bitcoin run, but like all the shitty meme coins and the shit coins and the altcoins. They're all just gonna the whole market could just pump, you know. I agree. I think that's it. He's our guy. He's really like our savior. You know, you have Brian Armstrong, who's great. You have Vitalik, who's great, but CZ's like CZ's a man of the people, right? Like he has a strong community. And unfortunately, he had to serve time. But like you said, he walked so the rest of us could run. I think that is very, very true. Now, when it comes to hype in the crypto space, right, we're currently in a time where Justin Sun, about 2 weeks ago, he launched the Tron network. It's called Sun Pump. It's like a pump fund, but in the meme coin space. And we saw Tron, which was pretty much dead. You know, if you look at it 3 weeks ago, it was the only token that was up 20% this month, while ETH, Bitcoin, Solana are all down 20%. And we saw Tron actually have more revenue than both Solana and Ethereum combined. Like it was number one. What's your take? I've been pretty cautious about it. You know, I've downloaded a wallet. I've bought some of the tokens on Tron, but I looked at their website, like 8,000 tokens launched within the past 48 hours, something crazy, which is ridiculous. But what's your take on Tron? We're still early. It's about week 2 since it's launched. Do you think that Tron and the meme coins on Tron will be here for the long run? So, firstly, no meme coins will be here for the long run. Let's just say for this cycle. Like, no, I mean, you have to look at what's just happened. We had this mini Solana bull run, and then straight after Solana, then all those meme coins were dead, and we went on to Base, and then all of those are dead,
so
or
hype.
a few, right?
So
hype, but hype doesn't even last one cycle. Like, what is a cycle like? 18 months? They're not even lasting 4 weeks. So I think the Tron thing will be just as quick lived as the other hype coins, right? But what I will say is I think Justin Sun launching all these meme coins on the network is an extremely smart idea, because at the end of the day, people don't care about decentralization, security, or longevity. They just want fun and quick money now, right? That's all people care about. So people love meme coins. They love it. And so the only way to really bring attention to a chain which is dead, like Tron and many other chains, like Cardano is also dead. XRP, in my opinion, is not going anywhere. So the only way to bring attention to these chains is to launch meme coins. And so Justin Sun knows what he's doing. That's the smartest thing to do, because it's funny. In crypto, right, we all send each other money using USDC, right, or USDT stable coins. You do it on ETH. No, like sometimes you do it on Sol. Like, okay, yeah, I'll take it on Sol. I'd rather not. You know, you really don't want to take it. You do not want Tron USDT. No one wants that. Literally, like no one wants it. And like sometimes my brother sends me, and I'm like, oh, do you have some like TRX so I can like get rid of it? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a dead chain. Nobody wants it. So yeah, in order to bring life back to it, you're going to have to launch some meme coins. It's what the people want.
That is what they want. When I first started creating content, I started talking about like NFTs. And then very early, I was doing a live stream, and it was April 2021. And all of a sudden, it was like when Doge was first pumping, like 300 people joined from the Shiba Inu community and rated me. I was like, what is SHIB? It was at $100 million market cap, which is like infant, right? So I put out a tweet the next day. I was like, hey, if this is just kind of like the content I was doing back then. If this tweet gets 500 likes, I'll buy some SHIB.
Yeah.
The best tweet I've ever put out in my life, because it went from 100 million up to $49 billion market cap for Shiba Inu. So ever since then, I started making Shiba Inu videos, which led me to other meme coins. And I've kind of like focused my content on meme coins. And I know it's like very, very, very high risk, but you just have to look at what happens. What happens when the Powerball, which is the lottery here in America, reaches $1 billion Powerball winner. Everybody plays it. I even play it. I never buy a lottery ticket, right? But everyone goes, and that's exactly what meme coins are. They're a lottery ticket. They're a gamble. You do lose a lot more than you make, but I have seen countless people change their lives by putting money in a token very, very early. It runs up to the billions. I remember there was a token called Saitama back in 2021. Not sure if you heard of it, but I started streaming about that token around a $1 million market cap. It ran up to 7 billion. And a lot of the people that were in that first stream, I'd be like, how much do you invest and how much do you turn it into? People were like, I put in $5,000, it's worth $300K. I put in $20,000, it's worth $3 million. Wow. I put in $1,500, it's worth $80,000. So meme coins are that lottery ticket. That's why they're hot. That's why people want them. But also, people just want to be a part of a community. And like a lot of the meme coins, and we can talk about these now, a lot of the meme coins now, like they've built these characters that are relatable, right? You see like with Pepe and Brett, the Matt Fury's Boys Club, it's like characters that people can connect with. They're stronger communities. Like when I join a Telegram of Pepe or Brett or Punky, it's like there's thousands of people in there connecting. Whereas Ethereum, it's like everyone owns it. So what's your take on that? Just in the meme coin space, like why do you think they are so relevant? Is it just the price and expectation of return? Or do you think that there is something there with communities and culture?
I think community and culture has a large part to play. I was talking to a friend the other day, and we were discussing how society has become so individualistic. So it's actually my birthday coming up, and I was saying like I don't really have any plans. I don't really know what I'm going to do. Like I don't have a large community of friends that I want to celebrate with. I have friends, but they're all over the place, and we're all doing different things. And, we were sort of coming to the realization that we used to live in like villages, and like we used to have so much culture and like family around us, and like you wouldn't have to worry about what you want to do for your birthday because you got aunts and uncles and grandparents and everyone's just going to bombard you on your birthday. Yeah. Whereas like I live miles away from my family. My friends are all dispersed all over the world. I have friends, but we're everywhere. And so we lack I lack community, and I think a lot of people lack community and culture. And so people come to crypto, and they also come to the meme coin space to connect, because we're not connecting in person anymore. What we're doing is particularly rare. We're all connecting online, and it creates, like brotherhood. It creates society, community, culture, and it gives people, it makes them not feel so alone. It gives them something to talk about with people. It gives them something to have in common, you know. I think if you arrive at crypto, you automatically have shared values. I can go more into this. I mean, so we spoke earlier, I'm Jewish, you're Jewish. One thing that I find interesting is I can actually have more in common with someone who's really pro-crypto and anti-government than someone who's Jewish, right? So I feel like crypto connects us in a way that society doesn't anymore and religion doesn't anymore. And I think that's why meme coins are so hyped. I know that might sound like a really weird philosophical roundabout way of saying it, but I genuinely think so. So in my Telegram group, we also have a private community where people can chat with each other, and they love it. So we don't trade every single day because we're not going to force a trade. We want people to make money, right? We're not going to force something for the sake of it. So days where we don't trade, they still enjoy the group because they get to chat and they get to like connect. And that they give me feedback. They love being able to talk to people. And one of the girls is now involved in another meme coin community, and they had a meetup in Canada.
Nice.
And they're all meeting. So it creates, we live in such a lonely society that being on the internet, having common values, having something to work towards, meme coins, community, it basically means people aren't alone anymore. And that's why I think they're so powerful. So
yeah, beautifully said. Yeah, we're spending so much time online on a daily basis. I mean, especially like our job, like we create content, we're working, we're connecting with people. A lot of my best friends are online. And I just went to San Francisco this past weekend. I got to meet up with them in person. Like we've connected online.
Yeah.
I love online, but I also do love talking to people in person, like sharing a drink, sharing a meal. I think it is very, very important. But back to the meme coin thing, I'm actually just curious. What are some of your top meme coins that you hold?
Ooh, so, okay. I said, I think they're all going to zero, so I don't hold long term. I'm in and I'm out.
What are your top that you like, that you think are going to be good this cycle?
Okay, so I am holding Doge, but I actually don't think Doge is going to be good this cycle. I don't. I'm holding Brett. I'm still holding Sheep from the last cycle, but I don't think it's gonna be that good this cycle. I think the meme coins that are gonna be good, I'm holding a bit of Pepe. I think the meme coins that are gonna be good this cycle are gonna come and go. I don't think that there's gonna be anything specific which is gonna like pump again. You know, like Pepe's already on like MXC, it's already on like major exchanges. So like, I think you missed the boat. The only way to get in on a meme coin and make that life-changing money is a coin that hasn't even launched yet.
I agree.
Like if it's already on the mainstream exchanges, then you're too late. If you want to know which meme coin to get in on, don't ask yourself which meme coin. That's the wrong question. Ask yourself which chain. So you have to ask yourself what chain is going to blow up, right? So nobody necessarily expected Justin Sun to do what he did with Tron. But if you really cared enough, you would have thought, okay, well, we've had Base on Ethereum. We've had Solana. Bitcoin, like meme coins weren't like ordinals and all that. That's not going anywhere. So what could be next? Do you think Charles Hoskinson is going to launch meme coins on Cardano? No, I don't think so. Maybe Justin Sun, you know, because Justin Sun knows that he's falling behind. He knows. You can just tell.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah, you can just. I've met him in person in Dubai. Like you can just tell that he knows. So actually, it doesn't surprise me. I should have thought more about it. If I cared more about meme coins and making like that fast money, I actually should have cared more about it and gotten earlier. But I think you need to ask yourself what chain. And also meme coins, they go in cycles as well. It's also about like you have dog coins. You have celebrity coins. So you have to have your ear to the ground and watch like where's the trend, and that's how you make your money.
Celebrity coins were just all scams.
My God.
I don't think one did good. But I think I disagree when it comes to meme coins. I do think that a lot of the meme coins the top meme coins will be here for the long run. I mean, look at Doge and SHIB. If like that,
you think SHIB is going to pump again? Do you think Doge is going to pump?
I mean, it survived the bear market and it's already back up to around Doge is at a $15 billion market cap. SHIB is at $8 billion market cap.
What's the price of Doge though? What is it, like 40 cents?
I just look at the market caps, but it's at 15 billion, right? The all-time high was around 85 billion. I do believe.
Do you know the price of Doge right now? Sorry, because Gideon also looks at market caps. I just look at them.
I work in the market caps, but I do believe that the top ones are going to pump again. Like
15.2 billion.
No, the price of the
15
coin.
10 cents.
It's 10 cents.
So I do think that the top ones are going to pump again, and I think that they're going to be here.
But like, the all-time high.
So if that theory is true, why did they survive the last bear market?
Because they have community, they have hype. Like, we do have these blue chip meme coins, right? But right now it's at 10 cents. The all-time high of Doge was what, like 90 cents or something? Is it really going to get to 90 cents again? The only reason it got to 90 cents was because of all the hype with Elon Musk and him going Saturday Night Live. if there's no story, it's not going anywhere. That's my point. Like a meme coin, it needs story. I'm not gonna name the meme coin because I don't want to give it like any attention, but there was one meme coin, I think it was on Base, and it got a really popular celebrity behind it, which pumped up the whole coin, right? Without that celebrity, the coin's going nowhere. Like meme coins need a story. Like what is gonna pump Doge? Like unless Elon Musk posts like that picture of Doge taking over, like, you know, the sandstorm of Doge, changes X to D. I don't know.
I think that retail investors are like, most retail investors haven't entered the crypto markets yet, right? Like a lot of people have, but back in 2021 when those were running, everywhere you went, like my mom's friends were saying, how do I buy Doge?
Yeah, but that's a top.
Exactly. So we're not even near the top yet.
But how do we get to the top? You need something. You need something to spark a Doge run.
Sure, he had a huge impact, but now meme coins are a part of culture. You know, I do think that they will. We should make a bet. I'll make a bet that I think that Doge and SHIB and Pepe, they'll all hit all-time highs by 2025.
But will they surpass all-time highs?
They'll surpass it.
You think we'll go into price discovery?
We will. We'll do a $100 bet.
$100 bet. We'll do a steak dinner bet.
Steak dinner.
Steak dinner.
I like that. That can lead us into our next conversation. We just had a nice steak lunch here.
So good. Thank you.
Yeah, so first off, you guys came in and you flew in early. Your hotel wasn't ready. So I was like, hey, let's do a workout.
Yeah.
And you're like, let's do it. Me, you, and brother, we did a nice workout. How important is that for you? Because for me, I told you, I was like, I don't function unless I get a hard workout in, every single day. Is that something that you value as well? Like a nice workout every single day?
Yeah, I think if I'm not working out, I feel like a fat slob.
Yeah.
Like literally, I feel lazy. I feel disgusting, you know, and I never used to feel that way because I think you only, you don't know what you don't know, right? And you only know what you have access to. So I didn't really understand how to work out, the importance of working out. I didn't understand nutrition or any of that until the last few years. And now working out has just completely changed my life. Like my brain is faster. I have more energy. I get more done in a day because like I'm actually excited to work out. Like I wake up at 5:30 or 6 and I'm just like, okay, let's go. Like let's put on my cute outfit and like go, you know, like you need routine, you need structure, and you need to feel like you're constantly leveling up. And I think it gives you, especially as like a young person with, you know, when you're not married and all that, and you're focusing on work, like it gives you purpose and drive. And another interesting thing as well that I've learned as well is it's how do I say this? I've seen a lot of content about how building muscle is actually anti-aging. So you know how you see people in like their 50s and they've all got like problems with their bones, like osteoporosis, or like they're just losing so much muscle tissue and their joints are hurting. They're just one big problem. Even people when they hit 30 are complaining about their knees, you know, and I was all downhill from here. That's because they don't have any muscle mass.
Yep.
And I didn't know this. And actually, like the more muscle you have, you become this fat burning machine, and like you just become amazing, you know, like your skeleton is held in place and your joints aren't going all over the place. So yeah, having muscle is like so anti-aging, you know, and I'm not going to toot my own horn, but you know, I don't think I look my age. I think I look way younger than, you know, and that's because I'm working out constantly and taking care of myself. And yeah, I just think it's the best thing.
And
honestly.
You feel good. I do it for like energy. Like when we worked out, you guys were doing weights. I went on like a treadmill run. I do like a sprint in the morning just to sweat it all out.
Yeah.
Start thinking clearly, but it helps you with everything. Obviously you look good, you feel good, you're getting stronger. But it also helps you with stress, right? Like let's just say I wake up in the morning, I get a coffee, I don't work out, and like I open up my Telegram. There's always fires online. When I open up Twitter, it's just like the world's on fire.
Yeah.
So when I get a nice workout, I'm in like a calm place. I'm able to I'm ready for the world to give me the problems. You know, I'm ready to go attack the world. So every day I do that. You're probably the first person I've ever met in my life that has ever said, I sleep 8 hours a night, but I'm a bad sleeper.
Oh, I'm a terrible sleeper. Yeah.
Because there's people watching this that probably sleep 3-4 hours a night. They're like, so you sleep 8 hours a night?
Yeah.
But you're a bad sleeper?
Yeah. Like
That's a great sleeper.
If I have something on my mind, and I always have a million things on my mind, like even before we started this, like I had all this stuff on my mind that I had to like deal with. So if I have something on my mind, then I'm not sleeping. That's it. Like I'm not sleeping. I have to like have completely blacked out room, have to make it freezing cold. I have to like,
eye mask?
That's the only way.
Do you wear the eye mask?
That will just throw me off completely.
You gotta get an eye mask.
Oh,
Game changer.
I don't know about that. But I just, you know, I think that going to the gym is an opportunity to just leave all your problems at the door, because when you're in the gym, it's just you and that damn squat rack, you know, and you gotta get depth. And if you're not getting depth, then, you know, you don't feel good. So it's amazing. And also, like, if you're a high performer and you're like a little bit of a control freak like me, you love the idea that you can control your body. Like, you get to like manipulate how your body looks.
Yeah.
You know, very specifically with the food that comes in and the output in terms of like how heavy you're lifting, you know, whether you want like thicker thighs, thicker arms, like it's really cool that you actually have that much control over your body. Because I didn't realize that we did have that much control over our body. I had no idea. So now I'm like very much inspired by the fact that I get to sculpt my body and decide how I want it to look. Because I control every other aspect of my life that I can control: where I live, who I hang out with, what I eat, you know, what I do for work. I get to control everything. How much money I make, I get to control that.
Yep.
And that was also really important for me when it comes to entrepreneurship, because just to divert, I guess, a bit, I didn't like the idea of a full-time job, because you have a boss who decides how much time you get off, when you get to see your family, whether you're sick enough to take a day off, and also how much money you make. And I hate that. Like, what do you mean some random man gets to decide like what I do? No way, you know? If I want to go on a walk and take a call on a walk, I want to do that. So I'm a bit of a control freak. I like to control all areas of my life. So I want to control how my body looks. I want to control how much money I make. I want to control everything so I can have the most optimal type of life possible.
Yeah, and you've built that life for yourself. Then,
right?
I
built it. Yeah, it was very stressful. That. Still building it.
Yeah, it's a ever like lasting process, right? Like it's a goal that we're currently reaching for. But you and I, right before we started, I was like, we have the best job in the world. You know? Like, this is our job. We get to like talk to each other on a podcast, and people online get to watch it. What's a message that you have for anybody that's watching it that wants to do something like this? Right? It might not even be in the crypto space. They might want to do like a podcast for cooking, or they want to do like fitness. Like and they're working a full-time job now. What would be your advice for how they could get started and potentially start doing something like this full-time? Yeah,
I mean, I would say I wouldn't push everyone into entrepreneurship. I would say I don't think everyone's built for it. You know, like, and entrepreneurship is so unique. There are certain areas that work for some people and that don't work for other people. Like, for example, I wouldn't want to like build a business with like hundreds of employees. That's just not the type of entrepreneurship I want to do. So first I would say, like, understand what works for you, what you like, how much freedom you like. Do you like being told what to do? Because there's also entrepreneurship, and there's I think they call it intrapreneur. Yeah, that's what they call it. So where you're like the entrepreneur's main man, you know? So you're not running the company, so you don't have that pressure, but like you also are like a top guy there. So understand, like, what do you want to do? Like, what's your goal? What's your desired outcome? And then I would say, I guess it depends what your goal is, but ultimately, like, learn a skill and get really good at it.
Yep.
You need to be the best at what you do. That's it. Whether you want to be a model, whether you want to be a cook, whether you want to be the negotiator, what are you so damn good at that makes you irreplaceable? You know, like me and my brother Gideon, we work together, obviously, and we have some people that work for us. We have a couple of employees, but ultimately, like, we do the brunt of most things, and we like that because we're both control freaks.
Yeah.
Gideon is a master negotiator. Like, he's good at a lot of other things, and sometimes he falls short in certain areas, and I laugh because I go, yeah, because you know what you're good at? Negotiating. He kills it. I've never seen, like, I've like, sometimes we're on calls and I'm like, Gideon, just take the deal. I'm like messaging, just take the deal, and he's just like, shut up, Layah. And he's good, you know. But that's what he's amazing at. There are other areas where like he falls short at, and so we say, let's just hire someone to do it. But the point is, he kills it in like one main area. And that just makes him irreplaceable to the business, you know?
Yeah.
And so you need to be irreplaceable at whatever it is. If you want to be a fitness influencer, you need to be the best.
Yep.
In terms of, like, people often say, well, what do I do if I want to start a company? I don't have any money. I don't have any capital to put down and to invest. Then you need to sell your services, you know, and build it up. And then eventually, you know, hire people or reinvest back into the business.
I think that everyone like should, if they want to, work online, right? Because like if you and I went out, and I just hosted a conference last week in San Francisco, there was like 500 people there, but we're going to put this online. It's going to reach thousands of more people just because we're online, right? It gives you like that speaker to talk, but some people are good on camera. Like you and I, we like the camera. We have people behind the scenes that are editing. We have people that are good at writing, right? Like, find what it is that you want to do in a specific niche. And I think that everyone, if you work hard enough, you become irreplaceable, like you said. You can do something online, start your own business. But I've enjoyed it. So how long have you been an entrepreneur?
That's a good question. Sometimes I don't even think of myself as an entrepreneur. It's funny. How long have you been
What do you think of yourself as? Like
just a person,
just living,
just out here trying to hustle, make some money.
Same.
But no, I am because I make money for myself, right? And I don't work for anyone, so I work for me. So I guess that makes me an entrepreneur.
You're like technically an entrepreneur, but the labels are whatever.
Yeah, everyone's an entrepreneur now.
Yeah, it's like our job is to tweet a little bit here and there. Hop on a camera, talk to a friend,
right? Hit the gym like early. I guess maybe since 2020. Yeah, maybe since 2020, I've been an entrepreneur. What about you?
Same. Yeah, I actually started. So I was living in San Francisco. I was working at a tech company. And I started my podcast. And my first podcast episode literally was on my phone. It was an app. And I was like, hey, this is episode 1. If I get started, I'll know I can continue.
Nice.
Then I had a guest on for episode 2. I kind of started like that entrepreneur, like wellness area. And I had someone come on and talk about crypto on my podcast. So I was like, oh, I like that. It was right before the 2020, 2021 run up, right? Like Bitcoin was around 20K. It was increasing. That's when I just started making crypto content. I made my first YouTube video. It got like 1,000 views. I was like, 1,000 people watch my video? So I made another one. I got like 1,500 views, started live streaming every night. And then I started during a perfect time, right? Like the bull run, there was a lot of attention. I found the right tokens like Shiba Inu. And I was able to grow, my platform, I think to like 100,000 followers on Twitter and was making good money. And I was just waiting until my crypto was like outpacing my current job at work, which it was like already like 5 to 10xing it, but it was just scary to leave my job with insurance. And then 2022, I was able to quit my job, my corporate job. And I've been doing this full time for like full time for like 2.5 years.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's 2 points that I would say then. The first point is just start. Yeah. I think a lot of people procrastinate and don't start because they want their content to be perfect. I have a friend who wants to go into like interior design, but she's procrastinating because she says, oh, but how's the Instagram going to look? And like, what color is it going to? I'm like, girl, just start. I know people who started putting out fitness content and like their content at first was just like so bad and like we laugh about it, but at least they put it out. You have to just start. And, I say that, I don't know who said this, but I heard it and it's always resonated with me and I always take it wherever I go, that change only happens when the pain of staying the same is more than the pain of changing. So to put that into context,
I think it's a Tony Robbins quote.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't know. I just heard it, and I don't know, maybe someone took it from him and I heard it from but like to put that into context, like for me, we spoke earlier, I moved from the UK to the US and that was really difficult. I moved by myself, super expensive, didn't know anyone.
No friends here, which is
no friends, still don't have many friends.
Yeah, still not doing much.
Still don't have any friends, but at least I have money now. No, I'm joking. Yeah. But, I made that move because the pain of staying in the UK was way more painful than transitioning, and I think if the pain of staying in your job, only when the pain of staying in your job is too painful and is more painful than the pain of like jumping and being that entrepreneur is when the change will happen. If it's not, then you're just going to stay where you are. You have to get really uncomfortable in order to move.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet a lot of people out that are watching this have that idea. Like, I want to do that, right? I was in that boat for a while. I was like, I want to do that, but they might have kids, they might have a mortgage, right. But you can just get started. Like while you have your job and your kids and your mortgage, you can put in an hour or two, online building something. Whether you want to be a DJ, whether you want to make, have a podcast that you invite a guest on. But I think that's how I started literally. And like, look what we've kind of built today. Obviously not where I want to be, but it's amazing. Nice. Yeah, it's nice. But I literally this all started because one day in Laguna, I picked up my phone and I said, this is podcast episode 1. And I stayed consistent. There's something about that in anything in life, whether it's work, whether it's your body, whether it's anything, your relationships, like you have to stay consistent too. How many times do you wake up in the morning where you're like, I don't feel like working or doing videos or tweeting, and like you do it anyways?
Right. Always. All the time. Always. Yeah, of course. Like some days like you just want a day off, but like there's breaking news and like now is the time to make the content. Like now, if you want to get to the next level with this content game, you're going to need to jump on this breaking news, Like even on a Sunday, like for example, when Biden, was it Biden dropping out of the race? Yeah. When Biden dropped out, I think the news was released on a Sunday and I just knew like I have to work. Like I have to do it. And I think also the beauty of that is like, just because you worked on a Sunday doesn't mean you have to work on the Monday, on the Tuesday. Of course you're going to work, but like if you gave it your all on the Sunday, you gave it everything, it's okay. You can like take the gas off a little bit on the Monday, like you choose your own hours is what people don't realize. You should work when you have to work, and that, I think that's an important distinction.
I like that. Yeah, I try to like I have like a set number of like videos I do every single day. Like I try to do 3 short form contents for like Instagram, TikTok, 3 longer format videos, a live stream. Sometimes I do 2 and 2. Sometimes I do 1. Other days I'm like, I'm not doing anything today. I tell my team, I'm like, guys, I'm taking the day off, because like there's also importance to hustling hard and getting shit done, but there's also importance to like resting and recovering. And when you do that, you actually come back stronger and better and more motivated as well.
Yeah, no, that's completely true. You know, Gideon always likes to push us and like is like, you know, foot on the gas. We have to work, and we do give it our all. But we also do need those days. We will never take a full day off. I don't think we've ever taken a full day off, but like we might take like an afternoon off, and that just recharges us, gets us ready. And yeah, you feel like you're being fair to yourself. Like you don't want to work yourself into the ground. You don't want to disrespect yourself.
Yeah.
You do have to treat yourself, you know, like we made good money so this year, and like we went and bought nice things. And I think that's important. You do have to like reinvest back into yourself, whether it's by taking time, whether it's by treating yourself to nice things, whatever it is.
Even a massage.
Massage, yeah.
I think we're going to do that afterwards. Nice little massage.
I need to get one actually.
Room,
yeah.
Sauna. But yeah, I think that's all very, very important. That's a good, we weren't even planning on talking about that.
No.
Like entrepreneurship. So when it comes to crypto, before the podcast started, you're like, we were doing our mic checks. You're like, crypto's doomed. It's going to zero. Oh, yeah. You said all cryptocurrencies besides maybe the top 3 are going to zero. I agree with you. I think most are. I think probably like 99%. I think a lot of the top layer 1 blockchains, maybe some meme coins will survive. But for this cycle, I mean, what's your outlook on cryptocurrency? Obviously, we hit our all-time high over $73,000 back in March or January. It was earlier this year. Do you think we're going to have all-time highs? Do you think crypto is going to eventually do the Michael Saylor, where Michael Saylor says it's going to go to 500K, then 1 million, then 10 million? Do you think that's going to come true, or is that just kind of, you know, false ideas from him?
So I think we're still early, believe it or not. I think that all-time highs came early this year just because of the Bitcoin spot ETF, the Ethereum spot ETF. It really just pumped up the market way sooner than it should have been. So a lot of people felt that, you know, that was it. We're off now, and we just weren't. It was still too early. You know, we hadn't even had the halving yet, so very unique. So this pullback that we've seen post-halving doesn't concern me at all. If you just look at the charts of the previous cycles, you can see that after the halving, there is always some kind of drop. There's always some kind of pullback, sideways movements for at least 4.5 months. And then things really do start to take off. And I think that's what we're going to see. Definitely think that we're going to see all-time highs and price discovery mode. I think don't quote me, not financial advice. I think we are likely to hit all-time highs Q4 this year. I think probably around October, November time. I think that Donald Trump is likely to win the election, and I do think that is going to be bullish short term for crypto. So I think we will see that. CZ coming out of jail in another month when he gets off whatever halfway house, whatever he's doing. Rehab. Right. Whenever CZ is officially out of jail and free, that will spark a bull run. So I think the timing matters, you know. We all, like, nothing different is happening. And what I will say as well is that people are like, oh, but what about World War III? You know, what about like Iran and Israel and America? And how's that going to affect the market? And it's all going to go to shit. And I'm like, well, that, like, war isn't that unique, right? Like, wars are happening constantly. Forever. They're constantly printing money. What was unique was COVID. We had a world lockdown, supply chain halts, oil trading at negative prices. Like, we've never seen anything like that. And what happened? Bitcoin went on to break all-time highs. So did Ethereum, so did the rest of the market. And not just all-time highs, but we had new innovation. We had NFTs, we had the metaverse, all this new stuff came up. So the market really thrived during COVID, right? So why are you concerned about a war that hasn't even officially happened yet, you know? So I think, yeah, I'm all for what Michael Saylor is saying. I think we're going to go on to break all-time highs. I don't believe in any kind of super cycle. Let's make that clear. People always go on over, there's so much hopium and hype. People go on about, oh my God, we're going to see a super cycle. Like, nah, we're not seeing a super cycle. Bitcoin will crash a good 70%, you know, like 80%, like always. And that's it. Keep going on these 4-year cycles. What I'll say as well is I don't think the 4-year cycles will be here forever. I think with more institutions coming in, more money coming in, I think prices eventually, I don't know when, I think prices eventually will start to I think Bitcoin will find its like value. And I think it will become a lot less volatile. And I think that will definitely affect the 4-year cycles, but I don't think we're there yet. So expect all-time highs, expect price discovery mode, expect more I don't want to call it like rubbish, but like more like...
You could say rubbish.
More short-term hype from like silly coins and silly projects to come and go. I don't think this cycle is going to be any different from the others.
I agree with you with everything you said. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. This has been fun.
And tell everybody, we're going to tag you on Twitter, but tell everybody where to find you on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube.
Yeah, so we are on YouTube, we are on Twitter, X, we're on Instagram. It's just my name at Layah Heilpern, and we're also on Telegram. So be careful talking to anyone on Telegram, though. That's something I will say. If you want the link to my Telegram, then it's in all of my social media bios. So it's on my Instagram bio. It's on verified. Yeah, my verified Instagram, my verified Twitter, my verified YouTube. So the link is always like in the bio there to get my Telegram. So that's where you'll find it.
Guys, check it out. I joined her Telegram. Worth it 100%. Thank you, Layah.
Thanks.